Okay, so hey everyone, let's take a look at this business model canvas. Now, this is the original business model canvas. Now, the one that you have has been kind of converted and it takes out a lot of these. And if you notice, the customer segments is on the other side. I think a large reason is because the original people that created this, they're from Australia and they kind of do things, a little bit differently than we do. So, but take a look at this and how deep this one goes. Now, look at where it says customer segments. Now, they're talking about the customer segments, and in yours, it shows just customers. But the cool thing about this is that it has all of this information here. You start getting your sticky notes and answering these questions. Now, here's one, for instance. It says, for whom are we creating value? Who is our most important customers, right? And now they go into, if you notice right here, it says mass market, then it says niche markets, then it says segments, and it says diversified, and then it says here whether or not you are going into a platform or you're using another means. That is critical information because that becomes extra that you may not have thought about looking at the canvas that you have now. It just doesn't go that deep. Now, if we think about this one, look at this one. Here's customer segment, but they're also saying, what is the customer relationship? Let's say you present your information to them and they go, hey, listen, I like that. What is the next thing? How are you going to get them to the next steps? Now, it says here, what type of relationship does each of our customer segments expect from us to establish and maintain with them? Which ones have been established? That's the next question. And then how are they integrated with the rest of our business model? And one of the important things it asks is, how costly are they to maintain these relationships? Now that becomes, how are we going to reach out to them next? Are we going to use some automation? And that's what they talk about in the examples. Is it going to be some kind of additional information? Is it going to be some kind of dedicated or personal assistance? Is it going to be something like that? You see what's happening is that it's going much deeper than you would normally get with just your canvas. Now, it also talks about channels. And this is some of the explanation here. It says, through which channels do our customer segments want to be reached? Now, if you remember from week 1, we talked about where they are, how they like to be reached. That's a critical thing. How do they want to be talked to? It could be via TikTok. If they're 18 to 24, it could be, they want to be reached on Facebook or something like that, right? Where do they like to be reached? LinkedIn could be an opportunity, or maybe they like to go to events. This is something that when we think about channels and we start asking ourselves, okay, where am I going to reach my folks? This is what they were talking about right here. And it gets into examples. It gets really granular, gets into it deeply. Now, I'm going to give you this. I'm going to send this out to you as well so you'll be able to look at it. And then you'll be able to read some of the things that they have under each one of these categories. That's critical right here. Each one of these categories then goes deeper. Here's value proposition. Now, if you notice, look at the important things that they talked about. The biggest boxes: customer segment, value proposition, key partners, all critical information. Now, look what it says here for value prop. It says, what value do we deliver to the customer? Which one of our customer problems are we solving? This is so critical that we go that level of deepness to understand what our value proposition is. And then another one, the last question here is, what bundles of products or services are we offering to each customer segment? Notice that. Each customer segment has an opportunity not to just get one service, but bundle of service. This is the stuff they're asking as your value proposition. And then it says, which customer needs are we satisfying? And then it gives you some more examples. Now, you'll be able to read it a little bit better when I send it to you, because I'm going to send it to you in its normal format. This is a little smaller format. But then we go over to key activities. Again, it asks questions, and then with your sticky notes, you're going to put on here, because as things change, your sticky notes might change as well. You get to dig down and really get into this information here. This is the business model canvas as created by the original creator of the business model canvas. Then key resources. Now you see some familiarity with what you have within the co-starters book, right? They adapted it from here and asked some different kind of questions. But you can use this and then fill it out, or use yours and fill it out. Either way works fine, but just know that here are some of the questions that you want to start asking. Use this as the example and then just answer them on your canvas. Works perfectly. Then when we get over to cost structure, again, it goes deeper. It starts asking specific kinds of questions here, right? And then that is one of the critical things that we want to have here. We want to make sure, let me go ahead and put an arrow here maybe, right? Cost structure, right? We start thinking about what is our customer segments, very important. Customer relationship, very important. Value proposition, very important. All critical things to know. Don't worry about that A. I just messed up and put it there. But then revenue streams. Again, it starts really digging into what we're asking from the revenue stream standpoint. All of these become very, very important. As you answer them, you have really done the hard work of putting all the information out there, and you now have the overview of your business.